You ever wake up thinking today's going to be the day you finally get some peace and then end up nearly run over by a snowcat on your own property by your HOA president in a fur hat? Yeah, me neither, at least not until that winter on Black Hawk Mountain. Let me back up. Picture this. It's sunrise, bitter cold, the kind of air that bites your lungs clean. I'm at the top of my mountain, yes, my mountain skis strapped on, staring down at 2 feet of untouched powder. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy 120 acres with a mountain in Colorado, and for a while that was close enough. That morning, every turn down that slope, I felt like I'd finally outsmarted life. Sold my tech company, left all the meetings and nonsense behind. Just me, the snow, and the kind of quiet you can't find in any city. I should have known that kind of luck never lasts. So I'm halfway down, wind in my face, already planning my breakfast when I spot flashing lights through the trees at the bottom. Blue and red bouncing off the snow. 2 police cars parked right where my private access road meets the main trail. And standing next to them, arms crossed, is Patricia Wilkerson, the infamous president of the Valley Creek Estates HOA. You know the type, perfectly styled hair, not a fleck of snow on her boots, expression like she chews gravel for breakfast. I pull up, pop my skis off, try to act casual even though my heart's hammering. Officer Garcia, badge glinting, says, "Mr. Keating, we need to speak with you." Before he can even finish, Patricia's already stepping in, voice sharp enough to cut glass. "You're violating HOA regulations by operating an unauthorized ski slope. This is a nuisance and a liability." I just start laughing, maybe a little too loud, but come on. "Patricia, I'm skiing. On my land. She isn't having it. This mountain is part of the HOA's recreational land. Always has been. We have documentation." The cop looks between us, kind of like he's hoping to be anywhere else. "Sir, Ms. Wilkerson says you're trespassing and creating a safety hazard." I take my goggles off so they can see my eyes. "Officer, I bought this mountain 3 years ago. Deed, survey, the works. This is not HOA property." Patricia's face is getting redder by the second. The HOA's had a lease for 15 years. I cut her off, polite as I can manage. "That lease expired 2 years ago. Randall Development sold me the land. All legal. I have every scrap of paper if you want to see it." Garcia nods. So we all tromp through the snow to my cabin, Patricia trailing behind, throwing daggers at my back with her eyes. The place is nothing fancy, lots of glass, lots of wood blends right into the mountain. From up there, Valley Creek Estates looks like Monopoly houses glued to a green felt board. I hand over the deed maps, even the letter where Randall Development told the HOA the lease was done. Garcia looks them over, hands them back. Everything seems in order. Mr. Keating owns the property, including the mountain. Patricia explodes. "Absurd. We've maintained that mountain for years, invested thousands." I shrug. "You had a lease. Lease ended. End of story." She's not convinced. Storms out, door slamming so hard the windows shake. Garcia gives me an apologetic look, says he's just doing his job. I tell him it's fine. I mean, at this point, what else can I say? After they leave, I pour coffee and stand at the window staring at the snow. This place was supposed to be my sanctuary. I wanted peace. No crowds, no drama, no surprise meetings. But I'd underestimated just how much hell an HOA, and one woman in particular, can unleash. Next day, I come home from town and there's a certified letter stuck in my door. The HOA demanding I cease and desist all unauthorized recreational activities on community property, threatening legal action. I call Marcus, my lawyer. He listens, sighs, and says, "Document everything. Don't stop using your land. That's basically an admission if you do." So I keep skiing. Every morning. Every time I spot an HOA car idling at the bottom snapping photos, I wave. A week passes. Maybe 2. I start to think the storm's blown over. Then Saturday, I'm flipping pancakes when I hear engines. I look out and, yeah, you guessed it, here comes a convoy. 3 Valley Creek Estates trucks, a little snowcat groomer, a whole crew unloading gear. I walk outside, coffee mug in hand. "Can I help you?" The crew leader looks up, holding a work order. "HOA maintenance. We're here to groom the community ski trails, post signage." I almost spit out my coffee. "There are no community ski trails. This is private property." He shrugs. "I just follow the work order. Ms. Wilkerson authorized it." Of course she did. I tell them to leave. Before they can even pack up, Patricia screeches up in her silver Mercedes, steps out like she owns the mountain. "Obstructing community maintenance again, Noah," she says, voice dripping honey and venom. "Patricia, the cops already told you this land is mine." She just waves a hand. Says the board found a clerical error in the records. Our attorney is handling it. In the meantime, we're resuming normal maintenance. I lose my cool a little. There's no clerical error. You let the lease expire. Randall sold the land. End of story. She smirks. We'll let the courts decide. She actually shoves ancient community plans in my face as if yellowed paper from 2005 is going to magic my deed away. She dares me to call the cops. So I do. Cops show up, review both our stacks of paper, and once again tell Patricia to get her people off my property. That afternoon, Marcus calls. They filed a lawsuit. Fraudulent land acquisition and injunction, the whole 9 yards. I ask if they can actually win. Unlikely, Marcus says. But they can drag it out. Wear you down, hope you'll cut a deal. I'm not budging. Then we fight. You'd think that'd be the end of it, right? Nope. Flyers start going up around the neighborhood, me, the greedy outsider, stealing their mountain. Signs at the base. Danger. Unauthorized ski area. They organize a meeting. I try to ignore it, but soon I can't walk outside without someone snapping pictures or yelling at me about destroying the community. One night I come home to a full-on protest. 20 people, cars lined up, signs. Save our mountain, Patricia with her megaphone chanting my name like I'm some kind of criminal. I get out, try to talk sense, but it's like reasoning with a pack of wild geese. Everyone's shouting about property values and first right of refusal. I try to explain, take it up with Randall. I bought the land fair and square. Some of them seem to get it, but Patricia keeps stoking the fire, telling everyone I'll build condos, ruin their views. None of it's true, but fear travels fast. Cops show up. Again. Ask Patricia to disband the protest noise complaints. As people drift off, Officer Garcia asks if I'm okay. I say I'm just tired. He tells me to call if it keeps up. I nod, but honestly, I'm not sure what's left to do. Next morning, a local reporter, Rachel Frost, calls. She's been following the story, wants my side. At first I hesitate, but then I figure, hell, maybe someone will finally listen. She comes up, asks questions, takes photos, listens like she actually cares. I show her the boundaries, the hiking trails public always have been. She asks if I ever block anyone. I tell her, never. As long as people aren't trashing the place or trying to claim it as their own, I don't care. She nods. Before she leaves, an HOA security guy rolls up, snaps photos of us. Happens almost every day, I tell her. She frowns. That's harassment. I can't argue. Later that day, Marcus calls. He's found the smoking gun. The HOA's lease never had a right of first refusal. In fact, Marcus even digs up board minutes where Patricia and the rest declined to renew the lease, decided Randall's price was too high. I nearly dropped the phone. So all this time she knew. Marcus says, yeah, he's filed a motion to get the lawsuit thrown out. Rachel's article drops. It's fair, tells both sides, but includes the part where the HOA let the lease expire. Next thing I know, my phone's blowing up. Residents calling saying they had no idea that Patricia never told them the truth. Then Patricia fires off a newsletter, calls Rachel's article dangerous misinformation, slaps a special $500 assessment on every household to fund the lawsuit. And that's when everything shifts. The next night, the HOA clubhouse is packed. I hear about it from Martin, a neighbor who'd always kept his head down. You should come, he says. People need to hear your side. I'm wary, but I go. As soon as I walk in, the place goes dead quiet. Patricia tries to shut me out, but Martin stands up for me. People start asking real questions about the money, about the lease, about Patricia's mistake. She squirms, tries to spin it, but the crowd isn't buying it. I finally get up, explain my side, tell them I'm open to neighbors using some of the trails, but I won't be bullied into handing over my land. People vote to suspend the assessment, form a committee to look into the board's actions. Patricia storms out, face purple with rage. Next morning, 3 board members show up at my door. Patricia's nowhere to be seen. Edward, the treasurer, says they want to resolve things. Admit I'm the owner if I'll grant formal access for residents to a few ski trails. I'm wary, but I agree to talk. We work out an agreement. Hours liability waivers, clear entry points, no HOA authority over my land. They even agree to help fund repairs and insurance. I ask, what about Patricia? Turns out she's been suspended while they investigate. Evidence is piling up that she hid Randall's notices from the board, acted on her own. For a moment, I feel bad for her. Then I remember all those nights lying awake, wondering if my mountain would ever feel like mine again. That night, I finally sleep, for about 3 hours. Around midnight, I'm jolted awake by an engine rumbling up my access road. I look out, there's a snowcat groomer tearing up my slope, and behind the wheel, Patricia. I call 911, pull on boots, grab my phone, and head outside to film what I can. Patricia's driving like a woman possessed, churning up every ski run, leaving ruts and exposed rocks everywhere. When she spots my light, she veers toward me, yelling, "If I can't have my mountain, neither can you." The police finally corner her after she tries to outrun them on a back road. She's arrested, trespass, vandalism, malicious destruction of property. In her purse, they find forged documents, old emails showing she lied about the lease, even cut her own deal with a developer to sell the mountain behind everyone's back. Turns out all her posturing was just a cover for her own schemes. After that, the community changes. Patricia's out. The board agrees to pay for the repairs. Homeowners apologize. Some even volunteer to help. Martin, the neighbor who got me to come to the meeting, suggests we start a cooperative to keep the mountain safe and open on my terms. I agree. That spring, after months of working side by side, filling ruts, hauling out trash, repainting trail markers, something weird happens. People start waving when they pass my cabin. Kids play on the lower slopes. Even Rachel, the reporter, comes by for a barbecue. The mountain becomes what I'd hoped for all along, a place for peace, for community, for a few good people to share. Patricia. She gets probation, community service, has to pay restitution. The HOA sues her to get back the money she took. Life goes on. In some ways, we're all better for it. You know, standing at the top of the mountain that next winter looking down at perfect snow, I realized something. The fight wasn't about skiing or property lines or even the HOA. It was about control, who gets to decide what happens in a place that means something to a lot of people. Turns out it doesn't have to be one person. You just need the right rules and the right kind of people. As I carve down the slope, wind on my face, Martin waving from the trail, kids laughing below, I feel something I never expected: gratitude for the fight, for the mess, for the way it all shook out. So here's my question for you. Where's the line between protecting what's yours and sharing it with others? When does standing up for your rights become stubbornness or selfishness? And have you ever been bullied by someone with too much power only to watch karma come back around? I'd love to hear your stories, your battles, your take on where the line is between justice and revenge. Because if there's one thing I know now, it's this. Sometimes the only way to keep what matters is to risk losing it first. And sometimes what you gain on the other side, well, it's more than you ever thought you'd find.